What do you look for in a tow car? A big boot maybe? Or are you prepared to accept a little bit less space in return for good looks and an upmarket badge? Well, if you're in the latter camp, take a look at this, the Audi A4 Avant. To my eyes, it's a really handsome car inside and out. We're testing the A4 Avant 40 TFSI petrol in sporty S-Line spec. Now, over the course of this review, we're going to head out on the road and see how well the Audi tows. We'll also consider what the car is like to drive from day to day, its space and practicality, and value for money and running costs. Only when we've taken all those factors into account will we deliver our final verdict. When you've watched the video, please do remember to click like and to subscribe to the Camping and Caravanning Club's YouTube channel. Click on the notification button to make sure you never miss a video again. For our towing test, we've used a Coachman VIP 460 weighing 1,319 kilograms, borrowed from Club Preferred dealer Broad Lane Leisure. If you're used to towing with a diesel, then switching to petrol power usually takes a bit of adjustment. The engines tend to have less mid-range pulling power, so you need to rev them harder to extract the best performance. With the Audi's 2-litre turbocharged petrol engine, it actually has pretty decent mid-range pull. It has 236 pounds-feet of torque, so you certainly don't need to rev the engine like crazy when you're towing. The 7-speed S tronic automatic gearbox sometimes hesitates for a moment when you need it to change down, but generally it makes the most of the engine's muscle. And besides, you can always knock this lever to the side if you want to change gear for yourself, and you've also got these handy paddles behind the steering wheel. Once up to speed, the Audi comfortably holds its pace, whether that's on hilly country roads or motorway inclines. It's stable too. It really does keep the Caravan on a short leash. The only thing I would say though is that it is a shame you can't get this particular engine with Quattro 4-wheel drive. Not only would that make the car a little bit heavier, but it would improve traction in wet weather.
We found it all too easy to spin the front wheels while towing, especially when making a hill start on a damp surface. Without a Caravan, the Audi makes a quick and comfortable everyday drive.
As standard, the S-Line model comes with sport suspension, which makes for a firm but far from uncomfortable ride. You can tweak the way the car drives using the drive select buttons, and if you select dynamic mode, the steering is a bit heavier and the throttle response is more urgent. Whichever mode you choose, the Audi drives with composure and control, but it's not as much fun to drive as the equivalent BMW 3 Series Touring. As a long-distance machine though, the A4 Avant is superb. It's very quiet at speed, and without the weight of a Caravan behind it, performance is very strong. As a long-distance express, there really is very little to fault about this car.
Let's have a closer look inside the cabin.
You sit quite low to the ground in the Audi, although there's enough adjustment to move the seat up if that doesn't really suit you. I found the driving position to be pretty comfortable, although it is worth noting that the pedals are slightly offset to the right, which may cause a few problems if you suffer from back pain. On the other hand, this model does have lumbar adjustment as standard, which is a big plus. You have a twin screen displays in front of you. The driver display immediately in front can be configured to show different information, to prioritize different types of data. It can also have the sat-nav screen put in your line of sight, which is really handy when you're navigating to somewhere and you've got no clue where you're going. The infotainment screen looks fantastic, really crisp and clear, very high resolution. It's reasonably easy to use as well. Personally, I prefer a system like those you get in BMWs or Mazdas that have a rotary controller, so you don't have to actually touch the screen. But you do get used to this. It's not a particularly complicated system. It only takes a little bit of familiarization. It's also nice to have the air conditioning controls completely separate from the touchscreen. That's a big plus in my book. You get twin cup holders here. You've got a 12-volt socket and a USB socket. There's reasonably decent storage bins. They could be a little bigger perhaps, but not too bad. And in general, the standard of finish is very high. So that's an overview of what things are like up front here in first class. Let's go and take a look in premium economy. So I'm quite tall, I'm 6'3", and this driver's seat is set up for me, but even allowing for that, I think legroom in the back is quite meagre. If you regularly travel with adult passengers or you've got lanky teenage kids, it's probably worth trying to stretch your budget to get into the A6 Avant, the next size car up. Or if you're not fussed about having a prestige badge, you can get more space in the back for probably less money than the cost of this car if you go for something like a Skoda Superb Estate or a Volkswagen Passat Estate. As you'd expect, if you're going to travel with children in the back, there are Isofix mounting points. They're covered by these plastic clips, which I would have thought are quite easy to lose if you're not careful. You get air vents between the front seats, which will keep everyone at a comfortable temperature. And on this particular car, there's a separate temperature control for rear passengers, so they don't have to have the same temperature as the front seat passenger or the driver. So that's the rear of the car. Let's go and look in the boot. As with rear seat space, the Audi A4 Avant's boot is not as big as you'll find in many mainstream estate cars, cars with less prestigious badges, but it is still a good, square, usable space. The capacity is 495 litres, and you can expand that to 1,495 litres by folding the back seats, which you can do with these levers either side of the tailgate. As for the tow bar, well, that will set you back, at the time of our test, £995. It's a drop-down type. You push a button on the side of the tailgate to lower it into place, and the electrics are on the side of the tow bar, well clear of the back bumper.
Before you include the price of options like a tow bar, the Audi's price is considerable. The 40 TFSI S tronic in S-Line spec costs £41,735 before options. On the other hand, for such a quick petrol-powered car, running costs will be reasonable. The car returns 40 mpg in official tests, and we've seen 23.5 mpg on our towing economy route.
There are roomier estate cars than the Audi A4 Avant, but if a prestige badge and an upmarket cabin are more important to you than maximum space, then this car should appeal. It's quick, it's comfortable, and it makes a stable tow car.
When you've watched the video, please do subscribe to the Camping and Caravanning Club's channel if you haven't already. Click on the notification button and you'll never miss any of the club's tow car, caravan, camping and motorhome content. If you've enjoyed the video, feel free to click on the thumbs up button to like it and let us know what you think in the comments.